wasn't yes.
Ladies and gentlemen, give our hands and welcome Mr. Adam Wilder.
That work? No?
Yeah.
Okay. Can anyone hear me out? How do you put this thing on? You know how to put this on?
Yeah, sure.
Okay? Sorry, everybody. Yeah, that's it. Okay, how's everybody doing? Oh, yes. Thank you. Okay. Okay. Okay, how's everybody doing? First of all, yes, my name is Adam Wilder, like the guy said. I flew over here from America. It was a long flight, but the trip's been worth it. It's been a great show. I want to thank the organizers, Ming, for bringing me over here. It's been a great time. Thank you. I'm going to do a couple of things for you today. We have an hour and 45 minutes. All right? The biggest thing I ask is, if you have questions, ask me. Why? It lets me know that you're listening and that you're learning, and it makes it more fun for me. Is that good? Okay? All right, does anybody here not understand English? Ah, that's good. Okay. All right then, let's get started. First thing we're going to do is I want to start with the basics of adding pin washes. Now, a lot of people think that that's a very elementary thing to do. It's very easy to do, but it's not. It's very important. It's a good way to break up the model and bring out details like I did on this example right here, okay? So again, this will be a little simpler, but it's a very important step. And then we'll move on and we'll do some weathering. And if you have any questions, let me know, okay? And if we have more time after that, maybe we can paint a piece of raw steel or something. A lot of people are doing that now on the armor modeling paper panzers, right? Okay. So what I did to start off with is I stole this from a kit. It actually came with this kit, but I didn't need it. So we're going to do this, use this example here to add some pin washes. Sound good? All right, first thing we're going to do is we're going to tape it to the table so it doesn't blow away when I airbrush it. Okay. Just like so. Now, so what we've done already is we airbrushed our base coat onto here, okay? Which was a sand color. And now what we're gonna do is we're gonna add a varnish over this to give it a nice satin gloss finish. Why are we doing that? Because the washes, it's easier to add washes over a glossy finish because they bunch up and grab the details better, alrighty? Okay, so let's get this started. This is a gloss varnish from that new AK Real Color line. Thinner. They act like Tamiya's, but Tamiya paints, but they don't smell as bad. So we'll start off a little thinner. You want to thin it to about the consistency of milk. And again, if you have any questions, please let me know, okay? I don't bite. Okay. Let's see. Which one works best for this job? Okay, so mix it up. We'll put on a nice coat, let it dry for a second. Again, we'll just use air from the airbrush to let it dry a little quicker. Sometimes if you have a hair dryer, that will work too, okay? And just make sure you hit it from every angle. That should work pretty good. All right, so we'll clean this out real quick. We'll just run some thinner through the airbrush, make sure it's nice and clean. Looks good to me. Now, we'll dry this off a bit. Yeah, it's not bad. Okay, now you see we have a nice satin finish, right? Maybe we should get that closer. Who can get this camera to come in a little closer for me? Can you do that? All right, come on up, Carlos. All right.
Let me find
Is it here?
Oh yeah, that one, that one.
There you go. A little closer. Closer. Get as close as you can with it, please. Okay, is that better? You want like that better?
Yeah.
All right. Okay, now we gotta focus. Maybe would that be here?
Oh yeah, good.
Okay, well they're working on that. Let's get the next thing going. Okay, so now we got our coat of clear on there. Thank you, Carlos. Take this off the paper. Okay, what we're going to use is this is a black bronze. And that's a great thing when you're weathering these light colors. There's so much fun to weather with the dark tones and the oils and everything. So with these oils, there's going to be a bit of linseed that comes out. Shake them up a bit. And if you look, which is normal, you see this here? See how it's a little watery? There we go. So that's kind of how we want it, all right? So whenever you open it up, you're going to have a bit of oil that you got to squeeze out, all right? Now, let's see. This looks good. Okay, now we'll take two pools. We'll put one here, and we'll fill up a second pool. Both of them will clean the brush. The majority of the paint we'll put off in this pool, and this one will take off the rest of the paint, okay? All right. Right back in Spain, huh, Ruben? That's right. Hungover and partying all night. Now, the most important thing is the brushes. And I pay a lot. So I get this thing out of here. These are Winsor Newton Series 7. Okay, you can use. I usually use a 000. Some people use a 00 because it's bigger and it holds more paint. I've always been using the 000, so I just kind of stick with it. So let's what we'll do is I need my other glasses here. I'm going blind. How's that? Does that look better? Okay. All right. So we're going to mix. Some people like to make the wash and put it right in the pool. That's fine. You can do it that way. Okay. I'm going to do it a little. I like mixing the wash right on the palette so you can get an idea of the consistency of the oil to the thinner. All right. So now what we're going to do is first we're going to start. See how that absorbs that right up? Can you guys see that on there? Get right in close. All right. Nice and close. Okay. Here we go again. All right. See how the capillary action absorbs that paint right in there? Did you see that? That's why we put that gloss coat on it. Because if you the gloss will help pull the paint right in. See how we're bringing out the details? Simple. It's a simple step, but it's also therapeutic. You know, have something on the internet while you're doing this, listen to music or watching TV. And right now it looks a little messy. That's okay. We'll fix that. See how it brings out the bold detail? Everybody see this okay? Yes? No? Okay. All right. Okay, now we're going to go ahead. We're going to carefully clean it. Sometimes you're going to have to go back and forth a little bit. Clean it off, add a little more of the wash, clean it off. So you have to always kind of go back and forth a little bit. Clean it, add a little more, clean it, add a little more. But as you can see, what we're doing is just a quick way to bring out detail, all right? Sometimes you gotta let it dry for a sec, okay? Sometimes you'll take off too much, just go back over. You kind of gotta go back and forth a bit. And then we'll just finish it with a general wash. And again, if you mix it separately, you can tell, you can kind of give you an idea of the consistency of the wash you're using. And we'll just kind of add a filter in. What you can see is, what this does, this is a quick way to bring out the details. And if you look at, it makes these details much more noticeable than these details over here, okay? Basically, that was the whole first step of this model, was weather it in this way. And again, sometimes too, you can just start and make a general wash, like so. And here's another way you can do it. Whoops. If you put too much on, clean it off. And this is just another way to do it. And this way is a little more subtle, okay? It all depends, but again, this helps bring out the bolts and other details, okay? Any questions on this before we move on? I'm just trying to show you a bunch of things as quick as I can. I only have an hour and 45 minutes, okay?
So do you have any standard method of doing weathering? After painting, after modulation, do you always washing first or
Yes.
filtering?
Yes, after the color modulation, you always want to add the washes because the washes will help blend the color modulation colors in with each other, okay? But yes, and then you go over it with the weather, and that's why with the color modulation, you always want to make it a little dramatic, a little too much, because after you add all the washes and all the weathering, it's going to kind of tone it down a bit, okay? Okay. So, let's just get these tide marks out. It's a little dramatic here. I'm trying to show you the general technique, okay? It's a way of bringing out details very quickly, okay? Any questions on this before we move on? No? All right. Okay, the next thing we're going to do is you can get in a bit to adding some earth tones. Does that sound good? Okay. Just got my notes here. Okay. Let's see here. That's professional, right? Dust tones. Okay. Okay, so what we got here is we have here's a piece of sheet plastic, okay? And I painted over it with just a coat of green, okay? That's always what I do. On every model I weather, I always weather it in steps, okay? So, first of all, we'll start off with an acrylic base coat, and then we'll go over it with pigments and other effects, okay? All right, so, okay, what we got here is, this looks good. This is a product from my range. It's like an enamel, but it's a water. It's basically a water base, and you can paint it on. I'll paint it on thick amounts, and then you can fit it down with water and make it look more subtle, like dust tones. Okay. Okay, let's see what we got for a brush here. This one looks good enough. Okay, let's take an old brush, all right? Okay, so this will be the bottom of the vehicle, all right? This will be the top. Most of the dust tones kind of collect toward the bottom, close to the ground, correct? Okay. We'll put it on in random amounts. Sound good? Put a little up here. Okay, usually what I'll do is I'll let it dry for a bit. But since we're a little short on time, I'm going to go right in and start blending it, okay? Okay, here we go. All right. Again, we're just using tap water. We're just going to shoot straight air on it, dry it off a bit. And what's the good thing about this is, even though after it dries, you can go back over it and blend it down further using water if you need to. See, you can loosen it right back up. So you can go back and forth drying it, blending it, drying it, and blending it until you get something you like. Okay? Here we can add like slight rain marks. See, I can go back over and just kind of get that rain effect. Okay? Again, the drill, especially if you're working on a satin or glossy surface, it's very easy to control. See how you get those nice rain marks? It's very easy to do. You dry it off. Make sure it dries nice and matte. And this is kind of just going to be a base for all of our weathering effects, okay? And again, if there's any places you're not quite happy with, again, you can just go back over and loosen it back up real quick. All right, that's not looking too bad. It's a pretty good start. Okay. Okay, now that's our first step, okay? Okay, now what we can do next is go back and forth until you get something you like. Now, I'm going to just dry it off a little more. Usually you have a hair dryer at home. You steal your wife or your girlfriend's hair dryer, and you can use that. It works quicker than this. Okay, now, the next step is you can take something like pigments, all right? And let's see, that's all right. And again, usually I wait till it dries more, but again, we're short on time, so let's find a brush that somewhat looks good here. Time for me to invest in new brushes. What we're going to do now is we're going to take the pigments and we're going to kind of blend any areas that we don't really like. And also the pigments will add more tones. So you're always working in steps. You're building up in layers. So if you have a large model like this, you break it down into imaginary parts, and you can do the turret first, and you can do the rest of the model. Kind of just break it up a bit so it's not so mundane. Let's see how the pigments are kind of working to help blend in that base just a bit. And the pigments, where this dust tone we put on is more matte, where the rest of this is satin, the pigments will adhere to a matte surface easier than a satin surface, okay? Right here, I don't really like this area, so we'll blend it a little bit with the pigments, like seen, like so. Okay. Okay. So these are kind of our dry dust effects, all right? Now what we'll do is all weathering is more interesting when you have areas of glossy, satin, varnished areas. And again, I'm not happy with this, so I'm just going to break it up a little bit with the water. And that's what's good about these paints, is you can always go back if you're not happy and touch it up a bit, like so, right? Let's break this up too, just make it more fun. Now, okay, now the next step. We're going to add some darker wet earth tones. So I'm going to find a home for this. I'm just going to clean this off real quick. Without making a mess. Now, what we're going to do is we're going to mix a dark earth tone. Let's see what we got. Or looks good. We'll start with this. Now with enamel weathering effects, as all enamels, you kind of mix them up really good. You're going to really get down in there, mix up those pigments nice. Hey.
When do you use the aqualine and when do you use the nitroline? In which areas? How they differ?
This one's activated with water, and this one's more of an enamel. So I can go over this now with this enamel and it won't activate it if you do it in light amounts, okay? And I usually, it all depends. It really is no set time, it just, or a set place. It just depends on what you like using and where. I'm trying to show you how to use them together. Usually, like this whole tank was weathered in the way I'm showing you right now, okay? And it just kind of building it up in layers, okay?
Ways we can have aqualine or looking with the nitroline.
Yes, you can. That's preference. But I like using enamels for the darker earth tones, and I'll show you right now why, okay? Hold on a second. But good question, all right? Let me just break this up. And again, with enamel products, you want to mix them good. All right, so that looks pretty good. Can I get someone to volunteer to run to the bathroom to get me some more of these? Ruben, you got it? Thanks. Okay, now we got the pigment stirred up, so we're going to shake it good. Great, thanks, perfect. do is just for a bit of contrast, I'm gonna add a little bit of darker pigments to this. Maybe dark brown or just a bit. That's not a bad color. Okay. So again, why we have two pools? We use one that kind of just makes most of the paint off. The second one finishes it. See that? Okay, now we have our dry earth effects. Now we're going to go over and add some darker earth tones, okay? Remember, this is the bottom of the vehicle, this is the top. And when you add in darker earth tones like this, you don't want to cover all your lighter earth tones. You want them to work together, okay? Okay, everybody see what I'm doing? I'll put a little here. Okay, here we go. All right. So next, let's clean the brush a bit. And you see, if you put over the enamels, if you put them lightly over these aqualine effects, it won't blend them. Only water will initiate. Only water will blend that first coat. Okay. So what we're doing is we're lightly putting. We're basically giving our earth tones more tones. And this is much more interesting to look at for a model. Okay, everybody see how the dark earth tones, they make the weathering so much interesting? Oh, you can't see. Okay. As you can see, we have the darker earth tones, and it mixes with the lighter ones, all right? So, here's a modified brush that I made. Okay, see that? Right here, I just took some scissors and cut them off. Okay. Piece of paper. what we're doing is just speckling on. Now we got spatters of mud, and that will also help to blend everything. Okay? Oh, you guys can't see that. Okay. Now we got spatters of mud here, and the mud makes it, these little spatters that I put on with this speckling technique here, it helps just that blend everything. Gives it a very natural appearance. Does everyone see what I'm doing? Any questions so far? Okay. So clean this off.
This actually works.
But you see how you can go over here, you can take the darker enamels and thin them and blend them over the aqua line, and it won't go through the aqua line. Only water will do that, okay? And you can even, let me take something like this and put scrapes in it from when the vehicle drove by things, correct? You guys see what I'm doing? Okay, you know, or it drove by trees and debris and stuff like that. It's pretty easy. It looks real, right? And it's fun to do. But we can go even further. We'll take this is like a little wet effect that we have. Murky water. All right. And we'll have, if I can open this. I usually have something to help me. Who in here is stronger than I am? Who can open this up?
Let me give you a shot.
Here you go. I usually have something to help me. Yeah. Ruben, you guys got a wet effect? No, do you have a wet effect? Do you have like an AK thing like this? I know, because that's the thing, these paint lids, you gotta clean them off really good and they don't, you know. Alright. Okay, well I can, no, that's alright. We got like that.
They didn't deploy them much in the field, but they actually did they did some testing. And they had some others that actually really look a lot more like nice custom.
One moment, I'm sorry about this. Hey, Jimmy, go on my table over there and get the new bottle of this what they do with it. The wet effect I was just using, I got a fresh bottle down on the table. If you go and grab it. One moment, sorry.
So I'm still looking at this. It looks good live.
Almost hold tight. Sorry. That'll work. Okay, this is similar to my product. This is an AK product. So this is like a wet effect, Ruben?
Is it?
Use enamel?
It's still.
Okay.
Oh, no, it's just
This is a tragedy in the mix.
Yeah.
So this is something that was not involved.
Yeah, kind of, yeah.
Well, basically, it's tragedy. Say this. Actually, rapidly.
Jacob Roboski.
Let's find a fine brush.
The artist behind behind the game.
This will work. Again. And with this,
1917. So
I'm just going to add some wet effects to the dry earth tones, I mean to the damp earth tones. So
design, but this is the
At one point, I saw military vehicles like around it.
we'll just blend it in a bit.
Sorry, man. Murky water effect.
That's the one, yeah, okay. Okay. So a similar product, okay? We'll finish with this. And again, it's these enamel products, you can kind of blend them in a bit. Okay, but see now we have the areas of the dark earth, the dark wet earth, the darker damp earth around it, and the light earth effect. And that makes weathering a model just so much fun, okay? And thanks for bringing this over. You can use this one here and do the same thing. We'll take this, clean it off. Very lightly. See what I'm doing? And while it's focused, you can even just... You okay? Alright. But everyone see how I did that? Just kind of... Alright? Okay, so, that's basically how I weather every model I paint. I just start off with the dry earth tones, go over it with darker earth tones for it to represent moist, damp earth, and then finish it with the wet effects, okay? And it's easy to do, right? There's nothing difficult about weathering a model, it's just knowing how to build up the layers, okay? Okay. Now, how are we doing on time? How much? What time is it?
2:38.
2:38. What time did I start?
1:30 to 2:45.
So I got 10 minutes? All right, I thought I had more time. Okay, I was going to paint one more thing, but what I can do is later on at my table, I'll paint that there. That sound good? So that wraps it up pretty much then. Does anybody have any questions? I want to show you something else before. Let's try to not make too much of a mess. And a lot of things what people don't realize. Oh, I'm sorry. Okay, look. Let's talk about this. One thing, how's that look? Okay, can you focus in on, let's take this one. You focus in right there. Now this was weathered, just how I did this. But what a lot of people don't know about earth tones, and the beauty of them is, you can use them to create contrast. Like see how these two fuel cells, use some weathering here to distinguish this one from this one. Do you understand what I'm saying? Or using this earth tone here to distinguish this part from this part. Or putting the earth tones between these blocks to emphasize those details. You see that? Or same back here, around in here. But again, you get your lighter earth tones, your darker earth tones, and then your wet effects. Same here, your wet effects, okay? And basically, whether it's this product, this is a good product too, you can use both of them, okay? And the same thing, here you got your dust, your darker earth tones, and your wet effects. So that, again, weather is easy, you just gotta work it up in layers. And even if you're not totally content with, say I thought maybe I put too much dark earth tones here, so I wanted to fix it. You could just go back and add, and I can cover it back up with lighter earth tones. That's all. So that you can't really make a mistake. Or say I thought maybe there's too much. Again, clean off the brush. Grab your water. Just move this back over here. But again, you could just go back with the water and remove some of the dry stuff. See, you can't make a mistake. It's just going back and forth, back and forth. It's like with chipping. If you add too much chips, you can go back with the base coat. You just have to be patient and get a tone that you like. And I wanted to do something on chipping too, but again, I'm out of time. But I'll be down at my table later on. I just got to grab some coffee. And okay, look. First of all, look, thanks a lot for coming down and watching my humble presentation. And does anybody have any questions? You guys are too easy. All right, thank you very much. Thank you. Thanks for the help. All right.